The cage door opens. The stadium was full of noise and flashing lights. Thousands of alien eyes watched from metal stands that surrounded the pit. In the center, a giant steel cage sat like a sleeping monster. Inside the cage, something growled. In the dark, the sound made even strong warriors feel cold inside. Thick bars covered in old blood rattled as the beast moved. No one had seen it clearly. Some said it had 6 legs. Others said it was part machine. But one thing was clear: every living thing thrown into the cage never came out. An announcer spoke loudly in many alien languages. Today, the beast will eat something new, he said. A human child. Gasps, laughs, and even some bets filled the air. A platform rose from the side of the arena. On it stood a small human boy. His arms were tied. His knees shook. He was only 8 years old. His name was Eli. He looked around. Aliens from many worlds watched him with glowing eyes. They expected fear, screams, maybe even begging, but Eli said nothing. His lips were tight. His eyes were red, but dry. He was too shocked to cry anymore. The platform stopped. A guard pushed him into the cage. The steel door slammed shut behind him. The lights dimmed. The cage began to shake. The beast was awake. Eli's heart pounded. He turned slowly. From the shadows, 2 yellow eyes opened. A low growl filled the air. The sound was deep, like thunder inside the earth. The crowd went silent. Even the guards held their breath. The beast stepped forward. It was bigger than Eli had imagined. Twice the size of a tank, with thick black fur, long claws, and armor plates along its back. It looked like something from a nightmare. Blood still dripped from its mouth. Eli couldn't run. His legs wouldn't move. The beast growled again and charged. The ground shook. Eli closed his eyes and waited to die, but nothing happened. He opened his eyes. The beast had stopped just inches away. It sniffed the air. Its giant nose came close to Eli's chest. The boy flinched, but the beast didn't bite. Instead, it lowered its head and let out a strange sound. It wasn't a growl this time. It sounded like a purr. The crowd gasped. Even the announcer was silent. This had never happened before. The beast slowly sat down. Its huge body made the floor tremble. Eli didn't know what to do. He stood frozen. Then, slowly, he reached out his hand. The beast leaned closer, letting him touch its fur. It was warm, alive, and not angry. The crowd began to murmur. The guards looked at each other in confusion. The announcer's voice returned, unsure. It seems the beast has chosen not to eat the human. What is this? A trick? A bond? Up in the royal seats, the warlords frowned. This wasn't the show they planned. They had brought the human boy to die, to entertain. Not to make history. Inside the cage, Eli sat down. The beast lay beside him like a giant dog. It didn't move to attack. It only watched him with soft, glowing eyes. The boy whispered, "You're not bad, are you? You were just hungry before." No one heard him speak. But the beast made a low sound in reply, like it understood. The warlords stood and left the arena without a word. Behind them, the crowd began to chant the boy's name. Eli, Eli, Eli. He didn't know what it meant yet, but from this moment on, everything would change. The cage didn't open to kill the boy, it opened the galaxy's eyes instead. Asterisk. The boy who tamed the monster. Asterisk. The arena was quiet the next day. No drums, no roars, no death, just silence. All screens across the galaxy now played one image: Eli sitting inside the cage, petting the beast like it was a harmless pet. Millions of aliens watched, confused and amazed. How could this small human survive? Why didn't the beast eat him? What magic did he use? In the warlord chambers, leaders argued. Some said, "Kill the boy now." Others said, "Study him." One old general said, "He's not just lucky. That beast sees him as family now. Touch the boy, and the monster will burn our cities to the ground." The scientists were called. They sent small flying drones to check the beast. The drones floated down toward the cage. One flew too close to Eli's head. Before it could scan him, the beast leaped and smashed the drone to pieces. The crowd gasped again. The other drones backed away. The message was clear: no one touches the boy. Eli, now free from chains, sat beside the beast calmly. He had named it Rusk. He didn't know why. It just felt right. Rusk's giant head rested in Eli's lap. The monster closed its eyes and made a soft humming sound. The guards feared the boy now. They brought food and dropped it from above. Eli ate halves, then fed the rest to Rusk. It obeyed him like a trained soldier. No one had ever seen the creature so calm. Soon, news spread across the stars. Aliens from peaceful worlds begged the council to protect the boy. Others from warlike planets wanted him used as a weapon. If he can calm the beast, they said, imagine what he can do in battle. Eli didn't care about any of that. He only cared that Rusk wasn't hurting anymore. He saw pain in the monster's eyes. Not rage, not evil, just loneliness. One night, Eli asked the guards for something strange. I want paint, he said, and big cloth. I want to make something for Rusk. The guards didn't understand, but they gave him what he asked. By morning, the cage had changed. On the wall, Eli had painted a big sky with suns and moons, stars, forests, rivers, and in the center, he painted a small boy beside a giant black beast. Both were smiling. The beast licked the drawing with its giant tongue. Eli laughed and hugged its nose, but not everyone was happy. Deep inside the station, a group of rebel aliens watched the video with disgust. This boy is making us weak, one of them growled. They call him the Beast Whisperer. He's just a freak. That night, they snuck into the cage control room. They wanted to turn off the electric barriers, open the gates, and kill the boy while he slept. But the moment the system beeped, Rusk awoke. It didn't wait. It roared so loud the glass cracked across 3 floors. The rebels turned to run, but it was too late. Rusk smashed through the inner gates and reached the control room in seconds. Claws, teeth, and fury the monster didn't just kill. It destroyed. Eli ran to the cage wall, yelling, "No, stop, Rusk, stop." The beast paused, breathing hard, blood dripping from its mouth. It looked at Eli, then stepped back. For the first time in history, the beast obeyed not instinct but a human boy's voice. The next day, the council declared Eli and Rusk protected. No one was allowed to harm them. No one was allowed to control them. They were to be left together, and so, the boy who was meant to die became something far greater. He was no longer a prisoner, he was the monster's master, the protector of the galaxy. It began with a scream in the night. Cameras caught the flash of weapons, the sound of ships breaking through the sky, and a child's cry. The rival empire had made its move. They kidnapped Eli from his sleeping chamber and vanished before anyone could react. By morning, the whole galaxy was in shock. The boy who tamed the beast was gone, and Rusk was loose. It broke through the walls of the war station like they were made of paper. Sirens screamed. Soldiers ran. No one could stop it. The monster leaped into space, chasing the scent of the boy across stars and shadows. Eli woke inside a glass cell. Cold metal chains held him down. Alien generals stared at him like he was some ancient relic. One said, "You will help us tame our own monsters, or we'll feed you to them." But Eli didn't scream. He looked them in the eye and said, "You don't understand. You can't force kindness. You can't fake trust." They didn't listen. Meanwhile, Rusk tore through fleets in minutes. Ships exploded, drones scattered. Satellites were smashed from orbit. Nothing stopped it. The galaxy watched in terror as the so-called beast crossed borders that no army ever dared enter. And then it found the boy. Eli's prison shook. The guards ran. The lights failed. A massive black shape crashed through the walls. Rusk stood tall and bloody, growling louder than thunder. But when it saw Eli, its eyes softened. Chains snapped like threads as it freed the boy. But Eli didn't escape. He turned to the generals, still trapped in fear. He said, "This ends now. If you ever try to take me or anyone else, Rusk won't stop next time." The generals nodded, pale and silent. Eli climbed on Rusk's back. Together, they flew through the clouds and disappeared. Back on the Galactic Council floor, a decision had to be made. Some feared Eli, others praised him. But every screen now played one message piece: through trust, not fear. Eli and Rusk returned to the outer worlds. But they didn't go back to cages. Instead, they traveled from planet to planet, helping people, calming wild beasts, ending fights before they began. They entered war zones and made enemies shake hands. They ended blood feuds that lasted centuries. All because of one thing: a bond. That should never have existed. One day, a small alien child approached Eli and asked, "Are you a king now?" Eli smiled and said, "No, I'm just a boy who didn't run, and a monster who didn't bite." Years passed, legends grew. Some said Rusk was a god. Others said Eli was a weapon. But those who met them knew the truth. They were just two broken souls who found each other in the dark. And from that moment, the galaxy was never the same. the boy they fed to the beast, became the hero who saved them all.